You performed the ritual perfectly. The curse should have been lifted. Jocelyn and Octon should be back to their old selves by now. Unless... Oh no. The word I was having trouble translating. I know what it means now. The tablet. The part I couldn't translate. Now that the tablet is whole, I see it. In fire and foliage born, what is broken, only one to restore. It rhymes better in Ultraritic. Don't you see? We can lift the curse, but only for one of them. I leave that to you. I must keep the power of the ritual flowing until a choice is made. Talk to both of them, then decide. Will we restore Jocelyn or Octon to their original forms?
Hi! Good to see you again. Why does Jocelyn look so glum? Oh, wait a moment. I remember. The ritual. Something went wrong, didn't it? I knew we wouldn't get out of this that easily. Only one? One what? Oh, that's not fair. I'm pretty sure neither of us wants to stay cursed. Well, if you can only choose one, you have to choose Jocelyn. She doesn't deserve to suffer because I made a mistake. Besides, this isn't so bad. Jocelyn? Is my cousin here too? Did I tell you she hates nature? Abhors it. And trees and flowers make her sneeze. Don't let her become a tree, friend. Please choose her.
What did the druid say? Only one of us can be saved? Why is this happening to us? We were just trying to earn a living. That's so unfair. I don't want to be a tree. Well, if only one of us can have our life back, I want you to choose Octon. He's too smart to let his mind turn to mush or light or whatever. Just don't tell him. I'm scared. Quickly, please, save Octon too!
I cannot. The ritual has run its course. A hard decision to make, but the right one, I believe. I just wish there had been a way to restore both of them. You should talk to Jocelyn, friend. She should be relieved to no longer be a tree, but she lost her cousin this day.
What did you do? I told you to choose Octon! How could you make him stay like that? He's too smart and funny to spend the rest of his life as a signal flare! Oh, my poor cousin! How will I fix this? Octon was the brains and... No, I'll figure something out. I have to. Here, I said I'd settle my debts and I meant it. You saved me and I do appreciate that. I'll find a way to do the same for Octon. Somehow. What am I going to tell my aunt? And how am I going to keep Octon from drifting away in a strong breeze? I'll have to get Druid Fennis to help. We'll work together and we'll figure something out. I'll fix Octon. Somehow. Not on my own. I'm not a scholar or a mage, but with Druid Fennis to help me, we'll find a way to restore my cousin to his rightful form. Look, I know you were put into an impossible situation. Thanks again for making me not a tree. Luck won't be a factor. This is a job for skill. My skill as a procurer of things that aren't mine. And Druid Fennis' skill as a druid. I owe my cousin everything. This is my responsibility now, and I mean to live up to it. Octon, I'll find a way to restore you. I swear it.
I know Jocelyn is angry. She really wanted us to save her cousin, but you made the right choice. As much as I adore the green, she would have made a very bad tree. I'll do what I can, but I don't sense Octan's mind inside the light anymore. There is always a chance, my friend. Anything is possible, as long as we have faith. I'll do what I can. Study the tablet some more. Consult with the Stonelore Elders and Archdruids. We may find a way to help Octan. Eventually.
House Mornard needs adventurers! Who's got the sand for the job?
We're gonna need more than a little heat to sear something that's born in a volcano. So... you've returned! Just in time, my friend. This nose of mine has yet to lead me astray, and I could smell those peppers and that smoldering cut of meat drifting in on the wind. Did you manage to get the brandy too? Oh, Set's tears! My eyes are already watering. I hope you're ready for a fiery demonstration, friend. It's about to get hotter than the Alakir during sun's height! Step back and watch me pave Galen's streets with flavor! First, we'll get a nice sear on this steak. Smell that? That's sulfur, folks! And now we'll deglaze with the brandy. Ho! Watch those fumes! And now, we'll toss our blistered peppers to infuse some heat. And look out! Well, not what I expected, but at least it was a good show. Well, you know what they say. You can't make the world's spiciest dish without singeing a few eyebrows. At least I've always said that. Even in my tried and true spicy recipes, it's never proven untrue. Tava's mercy, no. To master your craft, you have to push your boundaries, make mistakes, lose a finger or two. How else would we ever learn anything? The next attempt will be better, and the next after that more so. It'd be a waste not to. I only used a sample from the ingredients you brought me. I've got plenty here to refine the recipe and try again. Chef Raziz doesn't back down from a challenge, you know. Oh, a chef's work is never done while the world still hungers. I'll just have to see what's on the menu for adventure tomorrow. Perhaps I'll dazzle some sailors with a coral crab confection, or see what dishes the local druids might inspire. I suppose it's the least I can do to return the favor. I'll seek him out then. I still have plenty of ingredients left to refine my Galen-style steak. Do you think he'll appreciate being served such an explosive combination? Well said. Everyone deserves a little entertainment with their sustenance, I always say. May our paths cross so I can cook for you again someday, my friend.
What a lovely little island this is. The air is almost dewy. Quite different from the sands that I'm used to. Ain't that right, Unu? Ah, yes. This dragon frog is my boon companion. We've been together since he was barely an ember-breathing froglet. What's this? About my Unu? Ah, not a chance. For the rest of my time on Galen, Unu won't leave my side. Perhaps I'll carry him on my head. Or in my pocket. No. These bridges would burn too easily. You have our thanks. Here, take this. My Unu is safe and well, thanks to you. I almost wish they had gotten their grubby hands on him. Unu would have left some nasty burns to mark this discretion. I'm the only one he doesn't spit flames at, you see. What a sight that would have been. We'll continue our respite until we're called back to our duties in Hammerfell. Worry not. I won't let Unu out of my sight so long as we remain here. I've come to quite like this island, and Unu seems fond of the taste of saltwater. He may not look it, but Unu is a key component to our business endeavors. None would dare pull one over on me with the looming threat of third-degree burns nipping at their heels. And well, it doesn't hurt that he's quite adorable. I have my suspicions. Unu and his kind are native to Hammerfell. He may be the first dragon frog to set foot on Galen. And I mean, look at him. It's no surprise that he's caught an envious eye or two. I could put him in a carrier cage, though I can't imagine he'd enjoy that. Perhaps I should enroll him in a training program. Ensure that he'll be prepared in an emergency situation. A program led by me, of course. What do you think, Unu?
Here we go.
These sea elf pirates become more brazen every day. Over here! A toast to our success before we conclude our business.
Swayers weakest! Swayers weakest! Rah!
I got you that drink, friend. Grab your mug and let's toast. To the Gloom Lantern. To adventure. To letting no good loot go unplundered. Now, let's get down to business.
Take no prisoners! No prisoners! Ah!
Now this is the pirate's life I've always wanted. Freedom, drinks, and good company, and clear horizons. And I suppose you have my plunder? Tava's red feathers. I can't believe it. Not only is the treasure real, but Kiko and I actually put our brains together and finished what we set out to do. Of course, we couldn't have done it without you. Here's your reward as promised, mate. I sort of thought Kiko would flap off after we found the treasure, but it looks like he's sticking with me. Just as well. Seems like things took a turn for the better once it was just the two of us. Besides finishing this drink? Not a clue, my friend. Just spent the last of my ill-gotten gold, so securing a vessel would be our first point of order. And we may have to get creative with how we do that. You know, if it was us that got killed instead of them, they wouldn't have batted an eye, would they have, Kiko? Revenge can find me if it wants to. The only thing I'm looking for now is a ship. Really? I appreciate the lead. First mate! That'd be quite the step up. You hear that, Kiko? We'll make our names as honest pirates after all. We'll find a ship that deserves us. Then use the Gloom Lantern to pirate and plunder to our heart's content. It's the life I've always dreamed of. Maybe we'll see you out there on the high seas. We'll see you, but you won't see us. Cheers, mate!
Ah! Raise the mainsail! Ah!
I'm right beside you. Let's get out there.
Why, it's you! I should have known you'd turn up on Galen. Good timing. We have plenty of trouble to go around today. I took a post as mage for hire to Count Mornard, but he needs all the help he can get. And he pays well for it. The usual. Well, more than that. Galen's beset by sea elf pirates. But these aren't the usual isolated raids. House Mornard's defending the Isle as best they can, but their knights are stretched thin. And the druids are too distracted to lend a hand. Some quarrel among the circles. Never seen the druids so at odds before. But if you're willing to help, go talk to the Count's son, Sir Stefan. He's just outside Vastir, leading the effort to drive off the Sea Elves. What do you say, sailor? Sir Stefan is outside Vastir with Lord Baccaro, the leader of the Society of the Steadfast. Which reminds me, I've got the healing herbs he asked for. Give these to Lord Baccaro, mate. Now I'm off. Got Sea Elf raiders near Windrak Fort to deal with. The Sea Elves? Haven't spent much time in these waters, eh? The technical term is Maormer, but nobody actually calls them that. They're bloodthirsty raiders from the great isle of Pyandania. We usually see a ship or two, but this bunch have a fleet. A huge one. Call themselves the Dreadsails. They're a vicious band of pirates that have been causing trouble in the archipelago for some time, but no one realized how large their fleet was. Now they seem more intent on conquest than pillaging. That would be Sea Lord Nalos. He recruits Sea Elf captains and offers them a place in the Dreadsails fleet. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was trying to create his own Sea Elf kingdom far from Pyandania. Could explain our current problems. The druids of the Sisters Archipelago are divided into 3 circles: the Stone Lore, the Eldertide, and the Firesong. Usually they get along, or at least leave each other in peace. Lately, not so much. I know, mate. I was there. The Firesongs say they don't know anything about Archdruid Michiel's travels and didn't approve his actions. I don't believe them. Neither do the Stone Lore or the Eldertide. Aye. They've been spending time at Glimmertarn, a Stonelore village to the north. Laurel has also been scouting for Sea Elf incursions. Free rarely leaves her side. You wouldn't believe how Free has grown. Matured? Not sure how to describe it. The Elder Tide resent the Breton noble houses. All outsiders, really. They believe islands belong to the Druids, and some of them act on that belief. But we've got something of a truce with them on Galen. Turns out sea elves are everyone's problem. Druid Laurel thinks it's got something to do with an old prophecy. The Elder Tide blame the sea elves, and the Firesong refuse to explain themselves to anyone. So, your guess is as good as anyone's, mate. The sea elves? A huge one. Call themselves... Aye, they're part of the same fleet, though they seem to be made up of many pirate bands, each with a ship or two of their own. It takes a strong leader to hold a fleet like the Dreadsails together, and make them work toward a common purpose. That would be Sea Lord Nalos. He recruits Sea Elf captains, and offers them a place in the Dreadsails fleet. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was trying to create his own Sea Elf kingdom far from Pyandania. Could explain our current problems. After our last adventure together, I wanted to do more to help Druid Laurel with her exploration of Druid history. I came back here to dust off some old books, ask a few questions. After all, Galen's like a second home to me. Remember how I mentioned that shipwreck years ago? When the Stonelore Druids rescued me and took me in, taught me to see the world in a new way? That was here on Galen. I set aside my cutlass for magic, but lately, I've needed both blade and staff. Count Mornard sent word to the Mages Guild that he wanted to hire a battle mage. I was already here, so the guild sent me. Not the first time I've sold my sword, or my staff. I advise the Count, and get my hands dirty when I need to.
Your people are in as much danger as everyone else, Galfin. Sea elves make no distinctions when it comes to staging raids.
I didn't say we weren't, Dame Theta. The Stonelore can fend for themselves. We always have.
The Steadfast are here to aid those harmed by the Sea Elf attacks. I have no knights to lend you, Count Mornard, Sir Stefan.
We'll have to handle the Sea Elves ourselves, then. I don't know what's keeping the Druids.
You place too much trust in those ivy-robed beggars, Stefan. Supplies for the Society of the Steadfast. Give them to Lord Baccaro. I wish he'd brought knights instead of bandages. But I'll take whatever help he offers. At least he showed up, not like those ivy-robed beggars. Druids. They mostly keep to themselves, refuse to participate in politics or significant trade, and look down upon the great works of House Mornard and the Breton people. They contribute practically nothing to Galen's strength or prosperity. As the duly appointed Count of Galen, I oversee the regional authority of Vastir and the rest of the island. We learned long ago that nothing good came of making Druids pay taxes. Better to leave them alone. A lesson my son would be wise to heed.
Are those supplies for the Society of the Steadfast? I'm sure Lord Baccaro will put them to good use. Give them to him, then come talk to me. You look like someone I could very much make use of right about now.
Well, if it isn't Lady Arabelle's talented assistant. I might have guessed that Galen's troubles would draw you here. What can I do for you, my friend? Ah, thank you. We're short-handed, and I haven't had anyone to send for these. As you can see, the fighting on Galen has caused no end of suffering. And most of the victims are simple farmers and townsfolk, not soldiers. Damn those sea elf pirates! For the most part. There have been some incidents among the druid circles, too, but the sea elves are definitely the biggest threat. Talk to Sir Stephen Mornard. I'm sure he can find a use for someone with your obvious talents. Young Sir Stephen is over there with his father, Count Mornard. They will readily accept any assistance you're willing to offer. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Society of the Steadfast's work is never done. The Mornards are neighbors, so to speak. Count Leonard sent word to me about Galen's troubles with the Sea Elves. I have many responsibilities on High Isle, but still, I had to help an old friend. I am trying to be in two places at the same time as best I can. It involves frequent voyages from Vastir to Gonfalon Bay. Fortunately, I can trust Lady Arabelle to look after the Alliance leaders when I must be absent.
I see our call for assistance did not go unanswered. Good. House Monard rewards those who serve us well. Now, speak to my son Stephen. He can tell you where you're needed most. A leader who takes foolish risks doesn't last long. I serve my people best by commanding from here, not fighting in the field. If the need arises, I won't hesitate to ride with my knights. Until then, I trust Stephen to see my will done.
Well met, adventurer. If you're looking for work, I need all the help I can get. Sea Elf raids are nothing new on Galen, but never have they attacked in such numbers. The whole southeast shore is under siege. I'm not sure. Most Sea Elves are pirates. Easy plunder is what they're usually after. But the Dreadsails are more determined than any Maormer I've seen before. Whatever their goal, we must push them back. Hand me your map. I've received reports of Dreadsails near Windrack Fort, the village of Tuin and Suncleft Cove. I need you to investigate these sightings and chase off any Sea Elves you find. Let them know Galen won't go down without a fight. Not as ready as I would like, friend. We don't have enough knights to protect the whole island, but I need information even more than I need soldiers. Find out what the Dreadsails really want, if you can, and where they plan to strike next. All 3 locations I need you to investigate lie to the east. Chase away any Sea Elves you find at the fort and the village, and see if you can figure out what they're up to at the cove. Report back to me in Vastir when you're done. Time is pressing, but I suppose it's only prudent to find out something about what you're getting into. Which location are you curious about? Well, it's an old fort, built on Windrack Point centuries ago to protect Vastir against attacks from the east. It's not in good repair, but we garrison it as strongly as we can. Yet perhaps not strongly enough. Anything else? Tuin? It's an Eldertide settlement. They have little love for House Mornard, but they like Sea Elves even less. I expected them to put up a stout defense against the Dreadsails, but we haven't heard from them in quite some time. Any more questions? Until today, I would have said Suncleft Cove wasn't important at all. It's a pretty enough spot, but there are certainly better places for the Dreadsails to land raiders. I can't imagine what the Sea Elves want there. Is that all? I leave that to you. With luck, you'll find allies at the fort or village. But whatever you do, go swiftly. If we fail to meet the Sea Elf threat now, it's only a matter of time before we see them at the walls of Vastir. My apologies. In all the excitement, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Sir Stephen Mornard, and this is my father, Count Leonard Mornard. Our house has the honor of governing the Isle of Galen for our liege, High King Emmerich. John is my cousin. He holds title to the Mornard estates on High Isle for my father, and manages many of our mercantile concerns there. But my father, the Count, is the patriarch of House Mornard. It might be more accurate to say he governs Vastir and the lands surrounding the city. The northern half of Galen is mostly wilderness. Quite a few druids live there, but they look after their own affairs. Galen may claim to be a Breton holding, but the druids have lived here for centuries. Some of them don't like city folk, but they certainly defend the coast from pirates. Especially the Eldertide Circle. It's not like them to avoid a fight. One of the 3 circles of druids in the archipelago. The Eldertide live by the coast and dislike outsiders. The Firesong are recluses, keeping to old places of power. Then there's the Stone Lore. I studied with them when I was young. With the druids and with a knightly order, I suppose you could say I had a well-rounded sister's education. If you're interested, I'll tell you more about it later. Right now, I need you to check out those locations.
Here we go. What do you think about all of this? Incredible.
I thought I might see you here. Looks like a band of sea elves got ashore and seized the fort. Now more of those sea dogs are on their way. I was hoping for some druid help, but they never arrived. So it's up to us. I spotted more sea elf warships brimming with reinforcements. Luckily, the fort's ballistas are intact. Get to the ballistas and stop those ships. That will give us time to deal with the enemies who already made it to shore. I'll see if I can rally the knights and get the wounded back on their feet. We'll need them to hold the fort once you stop the reinforcements from reaching the shore. Meet me on the bluffs north of the fort when you're done. Take a right when you get into the fort. There's a path that leads down to the docks. You'll find the ballistas there. My guess is the Dreadsail ships will flee at the first sign of resistance. They won't risk their ships to ballista strikes. Nice work, mate. Your aim was impeccable. Well done. These dreadsails may be fierce, but they lack loyalty. Even though they've got numbers on their side, they won't stick their necks out for their mates. That's something we can use against them. You've done your part. We can deal with the stragglers around Winrack Fort, now that they've got no reinforcements coming to support them. Your work's just beginning though, mate. I fear the seas ahead will be rough for all of us. Word is, the sea elves struck there as well. It's just up the coast to the north. I believe Druid Laurel of the Stone Lore Circle is there, looking into things. I'd appreciate it if you kept an eye on her, mate. Laurel is like kin to me. Laurel found me half-drowned after a shipwreck 10 years back. She was just a girl then, but she had the sense to fetch help. Which is how I came to know the Stone Lore Druids. She's been a friend ever since. Aye, I heard that too. Something about sea elves taking prisoners into a cave near the cove. Strange. If the Dreadsails took captives, why haven't they tried to ransom them yet? Banneret Korik went to investigate. Help him if you can.
Blight, what a slaughter. I didn't expect to see you again so soon, friend. But I never refuse the gifts that Ifray is willing to give me. I came to help the Eldertide Druids, but I was too late. This battle is already lost, Blight, take it. Sir Stefan's a dear friend of mine and practically a druid himself. We studied together under Archdruid Raval when we were younger. It's not unlike him to worry about the druids, even the Eldertide. The Dreadsails happened, but it makes no sense. The Eldertide have no riches. Druids don't care about such things, and they command formidable magic. What pirate attacks a target that can fight back for no obvious profit? Druids choose their own paths. The Eldertide of High Isle are bitter, resentful. But as long as the Mornards don't push into Druid territory, the Eldertide of Galen are content to live in peace. It was foolish of the Dreadsails to provoke them. That's strange. It makes me wonder what the Sea Elves really hope to gain by these attacks. Let's look around. Watch for anything that looks interesting or out of place. With any luck, we can figure out why the Sea Elves attacked Tuin. A lore keeper? What relic could they be searching for? Ember blooms? The Firesong used them to cast certain spells. Are they involved in this too? Let's look inside the lodge. That's where the village elders gather. Maybe we'll find out more there. Archdruid Orlaith, what are you doing here?
Confirming a suspicion, little Laurel. Archdruid Raval was right to call the Dreyfa together. Tell him the Firesong will attend. The time has come to gather the seeds. The prophecy of the Druid King is at hand.
The seeds? Is that what this... Oh, Blight. She's gone. Friend, we should talk. Root and rot! That was Archdruid Orlaith, leader of the Firesong Circle. I think I know what really happened here, and I don't like it at all. The relic the Dreadsails sought is the sacred seed of the Eldertide, a gift of the last Druid King. Each circle was granted one. That's what Archdruid Orlaith meant by gathering seeds. Could she be the druid mentioned in the Dreadsails' orders? Maybe. I'm not sure why they wanted to wake free, but other Firesong tried to take the Stonelore seed right around the same time. And now this. Archdruid Orlaith mentioned the Druid King's prophecy. Could that be what this is all about? Not as far as I know. The seeds are mentioned in the dream of Cassarain, the prophecy of the last Druid King. The Firesong seem to believe its time has come. The other circles, not so much. Perhaps the Dreyfa can make sense of all this. A council of druids, elders from all three circles. Archdruid Raval of the Stonelore has summoned the Dreyfa to address grievances against the Firesong. But up till now, Orlaith ignored him. Tell Stefan about this. Pirates aren't his only problem.
A single sea elf bested the lot of you?
She hit us like a storm of steel. Didn't kill anyone though, just put us in the sand.
Can you believe this? I came to check on my knights when I found them indisposed. House Mornard's finest. Pah! Now, who are you? My knights tracked a band of Dreadsails to the cave here at Suncleft Cove. As they tell it, however, a single sea elf tore through them before they could search inside. Didn't even bother to kill them. Just knocked them senseless and left them here. Right. That was in my report. Since Sir Stefan sent you, I could use your help. Scout the cave. We have to find the prisoners and free them. I'll follow once my knights recover. Just watch out. The sea elf who beat them is somewhere inside. Remember, we think the Dreadsails have prisoners in there. Maybe some knights, but certainly druids from the nearby village. Find them if you can and set them free. We'll join you as soon as my knights recover their senses. Nothing good, that's for certain. They're pirates, slavers, murderers, and thieves. In my experience, the only good sea elf is a dead sea elf. These Dreadsails, though, they're the worst of their kind. Nothing like this. Isolated raids, some pillaging. They were pirates before, but now they act like a conquering army. Watch out for the one that knocked my knights senseless. She must be quite a fighter to defeat them without spilling any blood. Coric's the name. Banneret in the service of House Mornard. My family has proudly served the lords of Galen for generations. I'll bring these murderous sea elves to battle and defeat them, or die in attempt. Oh, not familiar with knightly ranks? Do they do things differently on the mainland? A banneret is the equivalent of a captain in my order. A knight who commands other knights. Looks like I've got some work to do with these louts, though. Nothing good, that's for certain. They're pirates, slavers, murderers, and thieves. In my experience, the only good sea elf is a dead sea elf. These Dreadsails, though, they're the worst of their kind. And you lived to tell the tale. I'm impressed. You might be able to teach my knights a thing or two. Maybe Sir Stefan will lend you to me as a training officer when this is all over.
This one has the information I seek. We simply need to extract it from her. I'll take her with me to the keep. Dispose of the rest as you wish, but do not tarry long.
No, please! Don't hurt them! You only need me!
your Sea Lord aren't fit to call yourselves Marama.
Stay your hand, stranger. This sea elf saved our lives.
I told the fool knights outside I wasn't their enemy. Do you have more sense than them? You're willing to talk. At least you're smarter than those knights outside. I suppose Sea Lord Nalos and his scum have taught the people of this island to fear anyone with blue skin. Understand this. I don't answer to that foul beast. Captain Siravane of the Gilded Blades. You'd call me a pirate, I suppose? But I'm not one of Sea Lord Nalos' traitors, and I'm not involved in all this druid foolishness. You look confused. Must be from the continent. Yes, I'm a Marama. Well, they're not captives anymore, and you and I need not be enemies. Sea Lord Nalos is my quarry, for reasons of my own. But I'll tell you this much, mercenary. Nalos seeks some sort of druid relic. Calls it a sacred seed. I'm not sure. That slimy eel escaped and he took one of the druids with him. Probably thinks she can take him to that seed. No matter. I'll find him. Warn your allies about the Sea Lord, mercenary. Galen isn't safe while he lives.
The sea elf escaped. Oh, too bad. At least we can get these druids to safety. We'll handle things from here. Return to Vastir and report to Sir Stefan when you're ready. I'll see these druids back to their village. You should return to Vastir and report to Sir Stefan. He needs to know what happened here. He should be back in Castle Mornard by now. You'll find him there.
Your people are in as much danger as everyone else, Galfin. Sea elves make no distinctions when it comes to staging raids.
I didn't say we weren't, Dame Theta. But the Stonelore can fend for themselves. We always have.
I'm simply suggesting that you bring your people...